In a world, 4 friends, 1 mission.
Mikey, what are you doing?
I'm doing the thing for the podcast.
It's not that hard, bud.
Dude, just say the name.
Fine. It's the Freedom Friends podcast. I love it when you call me señorita. Back. That's an old one from you, Joe. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Freedom Friends
Jay and
podcast.
Silent fucking Bob. Over
No, it's. That sound you're hearing right there, that is to the gentleman to my left wearing his sister's polo. That's Big Jim.
Yeah.
He's back filling in for John, who.
I didn't know Baby Gap was still in business.
Well, John's not
Jackie
here,
Chan,
but he's
son,
got enough
Jackie
time.
Chan.
He's got enough time to send me memes on Instagram right now. So I don't know what he's doing, but actually he's
Bird.
still in Florida, right?
He's got Southwest Wi-Fi.
Probably on his way back.
Yeah.
Southwest Wi-Fi, iPhone to iPhone. You can fucking send just about anything.
No, he's sending me via Instagram.
Same thing. You can use social media and iMessage or whatever.
iMessage, yeah.
I know because I annoy the shit out of my wife when I fly Southwest. I'm just like,
Dude. What do you think I did yesterday? I flew Southwest.
I haven't told my wife about that feature because when I fly, I just sleep or watch a movie.
I'm usually a sleepy guy. Like as soon as the doors
If I have a
close, like,
reason to shut my fucking phone down, I shut my fucking phone down.
Yeah.
I do a lot of the movie downloading.
Yeah. I do that for like on
'Cause I've got-
Netflix and shit.
I've got one of those obnoxious iPads.
Same. I have the same one.
That's like the size of my fucking MacBook.
the.
But I just set that up and then the Pro. Yeah, like literally.
Those
it's
are
the-
2 MacBooks. Never
Oh.
mind.
I usually have my iPad here.
But they are
Yeah.
literally
No,
the
they're
same size.
13
Yeah.
inches. Yeah.
And,
It's a fucking laptop.
Yeah, it's a fucking, and I even have the Magic Keyboard for it, so it's quite literally.
And I have the Magic Keyboard because you talked me into it.
'Cause
I have the
it turns
exact same.
so
setup
worth
that
it.
It's
you
just a
have.
MacBook.
Oh, it's great.
It's a
It's like-
MacBook with a touch screen at that point, which
Yeah.
just makes it better. But
Yeah.
and then I sit there and fucking I put my AirPods in and
Shout out Netflix for allowing you to download movies and TV shows.
Fucking game changer, dude.
Absolutely.
Game changer.
I didn't know
Peacock
that was
does
a
that
thing.
too.
yeah, I can download free media, but you can't use it on more than one address. Like what the
Yeah.
Okay.
Weird.
bass backwards.
Well, that way
weird.
you can't share. Yeah.
It's saved
Yeah.
in my fucking iPad. Like I know how to look into the files of my iPad and just be like, hey, look, I now own this fucking movie.
Yeah.
How do you think all the pirating happens?
Yar.
Yar.
Anyways, sponsors. Justin, hit it. Guys, it wouldn't be the Freedom Friends if we didn't talk about our number 1 sponsor, Warfighter Tobacco. Obviously, you guys have seen us all smoke them. We're here to talk about a quality product that everybody can enjoy. The great equalizer, as we've called it, the Warfighter Tobacco Stick. And it's not just cigars. They've got humidors, travel humidors, cutters, lighters, everything you need to get started on that journey. Check out warfightertobacco.com and use that code FTFO. Score yourself that sweet 15%. If you want to know my personal favorite, I'm a 762 Field guy. I like that Sumatra, real nice and even keeled cigar. Great for us beginner smokers, right? And I'm told that these taste even better when you're listening to the Freedom Friends podcast. Now, back to the show. This episode is brought to you by Grill Your Ass Off. It's no secret, we're all middle-aged dudes who love barbecue. Grill Your Ass Off is our main go-to for our spices. That's what we use, man. Whether you're doing burgers on the grill, steaks, or my personal favorite, a little bit of pork belly burn ends, right? They've got you covered on all of that. They also have salsas. They also have seasonings and spices. They got beer salts. They've got everything, man. Check them out. GrillYourAssOff.com/Freedom Friends Podcast or use the code Freedom Friends Podcast at checkout.
Did you ever introduce Jim or did we get sidetracked?
No, we got it.
Oh, we got it.
Yeah,
I got sidetracked.
They all know Jim.
Sorry.
Jim's been on here. What is this, like your 30th time here?
I'm an A-list fill-in.
You're an A-list villain.
You're probably at least double digits.
Double digits.
Yeah, you've probably been on here at least 10 times.
Nine
I'd
and a
say.
half.
9.5.
Someone will let us know in the comments. Funny guy. I'm gonna fucking choke him with his fucking sweater over there.
Oh, fuck.
He's gonna throw the forensics officer all the way off, and it's like we think they're finger marks, but there's not enough.
It was a grizzly bear.
Is that a flipper?
That's a dew claw.
Murdered by a marmot.
Fucking Jesus Christ.
You know the funny
Just
thing
like a
is,
sloth.
if
He's coming
if the podcast wasn't rolling, we would never be this brutal to each other.
No, we were just all like complimenting each other. Really,
Yeah,
really nice
yeah.
a minute
Yeah, I know.
ago.
But as soon as the podcast turns on, like,
Fuck you.
Fuck all of you, pieces of shit. Oh man. Yeah, I'd
What were
mentioned.
we talking about? Oh, right. It's Jim here.
I had mentioned before the show that I'm not drinking.
you did because
You were right, though. That tequila is not fucking bad. That is.
it's not bad.
It's not bad.
But I did get given a. Do I have a face that says "Give me moonshine"?
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
Like, is that it? Like, 'cause
wouldn't-
every fucking where I
That
go,
looks
I wouldn't
great.
drink that. But
you have a face that says, "Give me moonshine."
this was made by my buddy Jim, not this Jim, another Jim, who was actually a Beirut Marine.
Wow.
Yeah, older gentleman out of Baltimore.
When did that happen? 91?
83?
83?
83.
Yeah, he's an older guy.
60.
And he told me that it's the best batch he's ever made. So I was
really,
like,
because that looks like somebody forgot that in the back of a pan.
No, that's how.
well, now
proper.
granted,
That's
it
what
also
it should look like.
It also flew in my bag, so that probably got it a little mixed up. But
Otherwise,
yeah.
that looks how.
you could probably you could probably strain it. Yeah.
I'd pour it through like a coffee filter.
Yeah,
No, you just eat the peaches.
Nah, there's more
Those are
peaches
apples.
in there.
Those are apples, right?
those are
No,
peaches.
that's peaches.
Oh,
It's peaches.
I thought it was apple.
No,
cinnamon.
there's
Yeah.
like pulp and shit in there, and there's
Yeah.
cinnamon on the. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but I did say I would bring it into the boys. He does listen to the show, and
Well,
yeah.
I feel like since you're being a bitch today and not drinking, that we should save this for when you can also join us.
yeah.
So we'll set it aside for tonight.
Yeah, you can call me a bitch all you want. Like, I'm super fine with it.
I mean, you drank on Sunday. It's now Tuesday.
I didn't just drink on Sunday.
Okay.
I drowned myself in booze.
It's an
on
Irish
Sunday.
wake, man. He's fucking.
Dude, he's Jewish, which I think made it worse. Okay, like holy fuck.
Speaking of homemade, though, our friend Jim over at Second Pitch is going to come by. I have to buy like $55 worth of stuff to be able to make mead in my kitchen.
Wow.
And I was like,
Okay,
done.
yeah,
I was like, what do I need? And he's like, you need a glass carboy and one of those little bubblers, and I'll show you how to make mead, and it'll be perfect. And I was like,
Nice.
fucking A. And he was like, yeah. He's like, beer is high chemistry compared to making mead. And I was
Yeah.
like, well, yeah.
Well, I know there's a dude on
Look at the
TikTok.
culture it came from.
There's a dude I saw on TikTok that makes mead out of like Mountain Dew and Dr. Pepper and
Yeah, but-
shit like that.
That dude is a psycho.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
There's a bunch of guys that make mead on TikTok and shit like that. But there's some stuff like we talked about it on the other podcast when we were talking about making mead and like why people make it. It looks like ass in the bottle, like why it looks horrible and it tastes all bitter and like terrible. And it's because they go and they're like, oh, I'm going to make raspberry mead. And so they go to the grocery store and then they buy the little thing of raspberries and they just like dump it in there. Well, there's all sorts of other shit like in those raspberries, like
Yeah.
that, and they're not like thoroughly cleaning it and getting rid of all, and there's still stems and little seeds and all that shit. Well, the yeast that you use for it like reacts really poorly with that shit, and then it ferments stuff that's not like pure sugar, so it tastes awful. And so he was telling me about this. You can go and get this like all of the organic like purees where they've already filtered everything out and it's just like the meat of the
Raspberry,
fruit, and then
Yeah. Oh, that's the way to
ferment
do it.
that,
That makes
and
sense.
then you end up with this all that sweet, like the stuff that we all had at Ren Fair, all the
Yeah.
sweet, like really easy to drink stuff. He's like, yeah. He's like, and it's actually cheaper than buying the full.
Scary easy to drink.
And I was like,
Nice.
so if I show up here with like a case of mead,
Please
know
do.
Oh yeah, please do.
Yeah.
I like mead.
Yeah, you won't get a lot of pushback on that one, man.
mead
don't-
is awesome.
You know, I haven't drank enough mead in my life to know though.
No, you stop there.
If
You
it-
stop right there.
If
Because I've had a lot of mead and I have not drank enough mead in my life. Like,
does it give you a hangover like it gives me like beer gives me a hangover? That's my
Yo,
question.
yeah. Well,
So-
because it's sugar
yes,
based.
Yeah.
So,
yes,
yeah.
but here's why: the sheer quantity you go through,
Yeah.
because it's
yeah.
it's
Well, it's like rum.
good.
It gives you a hangover similar to rum.
The mead is just good. Mead is so dangerously easy to drink
Yeah.
because you even like just straight honey mead is just like, oh, it's kind of apple juicy.
The place we went to your birthday like 2 years ago, Jim, right there in New
Yeah, they
Braunfels.
make mead.
They have that.
Yes.
They have that.
And that
It's a little bit bitter, but it's a blackberry mead.
yeah,
Fucking tits.
it was good.
That place is solid.
What is
too.
that place?
Guadalupe Beer Company.
Well, that's
yeah,
what it is.
Guadalupe Beer Company. Yeah, they do it. They that raspberry mead. That was good.
I mean, I don't think it held a candle to the shit we had at Ren Fair.
Well, no, but that's Guadalupe Beer Company. You introduced me to him, and I talked to him because we were going to try and carry their meat in the bar.
Oh yeah.
And then,
They were the only ones that like.
maybe your wife sent me the contact info.
Yeah.
Either way, one of them sent me the contact info for over there. Because your birthday had happened, and I had the store. And I think one of you talked to them about like, hey, my buddy's got this bar, and mead would be perfect. And I talked to him, but I can't carry mead because mead in the state of Texas is classified as wine. And I don't have a wine license.
I thought it was beer and wine.
I thought beer and
literally
wine was
beer.
one.
So it's you have a I have what's called a BE license, which is a malt beverage license, which is beer only.
That's the first one.
And then the next one is a BG license, and that allows you to carry beer and wine.
How much more is that though?
It's
Because you said
$1,200 more to the state,
Yeah, that's right.
and then
That's why-
whatever increase you pay to the state, you also pay to the county and the city annually.
What a fucking
That's why you
racket.
didn't do it. We talked. We had a long
'cause
conversation about
well,
that.
because when I got my beer license,
Because you
I paid
in
the
your store,
state-
there's probably not a big wine.
But
not
there
for
would be
wine.
for fucking
I'd
mead if you
crush
could.
with mead.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you'd fucking murder.
Yeah, you'd
me.
probably make that up in a
But
weekend.
to be honest with you, now I'm at the point like looking at the way my people drink. If I started handing them stuff that was at 16, 17, 18%, and they hang on there for 12 hours during a tournament and they're handing that, like, I don't need to deal
is mead
with
that much?
Yeah, it's wine.
Because
Yeah,
like,
you're getting to 13, 15, 17%.
like I've started drinking a couple 8%ers, right?
Yeah.
And they fucking sneak up on you.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Like the hardest fuck seltzers, like they snuck up on me. And
Yeah.
then Smirnoff has like these crush flavors, right? In the big fucking cans. I'll drink a can of that and I'll feel it.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, yeah.
I've got one that I sell in the bar from Independence that's 9%.
Yeah.
And they sell it in a pint can. So it's
Oh, yeah.
bigger than this. It's a 1 pint
Yeah.
can. And you'll see the guys that'll be sitting there drinking it, and all of a sudden you look at them and they're like, the fuck? I only had one beer. And I'm like,
So how much is mead? What's the percent?
Oh,
Mead will get to
it can go all the
good
way up to
mead.
like what 18 or
we'll
some
get,
shit.
yeah, it can get up
God
to 18%.
damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Like because it's like mead, and then the next thing would be brandy wine, right?
Yeah,
Like
fortified wines.
Yeah.
You're getting into port, brandy wine,
I'll be
stuff
down.
like that. Well, the
Yeah.
beer we had made for us was 17%
on paper,
on paper.
allegedly. I challenge that. Fucking
I have lab paperwork saying it was 17%.
if the state asks.
It was 17%. So when we sent it to the lab, we were told it was 17%, and it had the sugar content available for another 5 to 6 points. And I will tell you right now that 3 weeks later, we finally added champagne yeast to it to stop we had to dry it out. It was like, okay,
Yeah.
this is we're making rocket fuel. Like we need to.
you start your car with a beer. That's gnarly.
It
So, like,
was good though.
that is something else.
It was good, but it does work.
Yeah.
Because I think you had a glass of it, and we're like,
Yeah. After I almost had diabetes, because
it was sweet.
it's awfully rich,
Yeah.
a little rich,
Tasted
but
good, though.
tasted fucking wonderful. Tastes like a Biscoff cookie. It was fucking delicious.
So Jazz and I are drinking tequila.
You guys got some fancy.
I am
some
too,
añejo.
I'm too gringo
Tequila.
for this name.
Coralejo,
Coralejo. Yeah.
99,000 horas, which is 99,000 hours.
And this was dropped off by Miguel, one of the show fans.
Yeah, 99,000 hours. It's an añejo, so it's aged at least a year.
Dude, Miguel's a good kid.
Miguel is a good kid.
He's a friggin' good kid.
Yeah.
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 He every now and then he brings me deep fried Oreos,
Yeah.
which I appreciate.
Yeah, he and his cousins come by the store. And
He brought me a little wooden 1911 he picked up at the air show.
Oh, cool.
It was kind of awesome.
he's a
Yeah.
good kid.
Yeah. He's
I like
good.
him a lot. Big fan of the show.
Yeah. Good dude, too.
And that's how he found my store and then started gaming in there. Like
Yeah?
it started
Oh.
with the show. He was not a gamer before he found my store.
Oh, nice.
He started as a fan of the show, and then
He used to
came in.
volunteer with Hero Sports for me, too.
Oh,
Like,
cool.
it helped me out with some events and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, what a good dude.
So now he and his
He drives a Ford fucking Ranger. His
Yes, he
name's
does.
Miguel.
Like, yeah, right? Like,
Like,
fucking A.
he's my favorite little Mexican.
Yeah.
and,
I'll be honest.
That still is one of my favorite pieces of micro content that Justin has ever made. When we're all sitting there and all of us are like, the fuck? And this dude just walks in with a cowboy hat and a rifle.
Yeah.
There was that day we're like, what the fuck is this? What's going on right now?
So he had us autograph his rifle, which is
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And then one day he came in and he brought me a squirt gun or an airsoft gun.
Nerf gun.
Nerf gun. He brought me a Nerf gun.
That he autographed.
No, I made him. I'm
Yeah,
like, hey, motherfucker, autograph this. It's only fair.
Fuck Miguel.
Do you remember what the Nerf gun was for?
I do not.
It was,
It was so you could finally shoot jazz.
yeah, so you can shoot gas in the face.
because it was
that makes more
right.
sense.
It was after that one episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because he was watching in the peanut gallery during that
That's
episode.
right.
Yeah.
Jazz, he also brought you a dope fucking hat.
My peacock hat. So
That's right.
he brought my wife and I. Well, remember when I went on that big thing about I like the Catholic Church because their entire rank structure is based on the size of their hat, and I think that everything should be based on this concept. So he brought me this cowboy hat that had fucking. Apparently, his uncle has a peacock farm, and he brought me this hat, and the feathers on it have to be
I've seen it.
Like
It's
2.5
not small.
feet long.
It's not
whatever.
small.
Peacock big.
And
Yeah.
he made the hat and made one for my wife too, and brought us each these cowboy hats that have these huge peacock feathers on them.
Well, I do apologize to Miguel because he brought us this bottle. Oh, 6 months ago.
Oh, really?
Has it been? It's been here that long?
It has,
It's good.
and I've just overlooked it because it's kind of a weird bottle. It's cool.
But there's so many whiskeys. So this is a good way to.
Yeah, but I mean, we drink tequila on the show. I drink tequila on the show quite a bit. But yeah, I cracked it open the other day, and I'll be damned, it's good.
Well,
What
yeah.
about
I
due
mean,
for another bottle? I need to go pick up some more Herradura.
Yeah.
what are you drinking here, Jim? You got some pink stuff.
It's
Shirley
margarita
Temple.
mix. It's awful, but I got to train tomorrow, so I don't want to get too. It's a school night.
Yeah, school night.
It's Shirley Temple.
Yeah, I am drinking Hoist
Waste.
hydration, IV level hydration, battlefield tested, warfighter approved. Go to drinkhoist.com.
If you couldn't, we can't bag him, so it's the fucking best. Next best.
I would love to get a bag on this show. Just sit here. I would actually drink if I could sit here and get a bag.
That plug was awful.
So I'm not sponsored by them no longer.
Please don't ever do that again. That was terrible.
No, I had to go to a funeral in Baltimore this weekend. So it was weird. I was flying out Friday anyways, and then my oil and gas side gig called me on Monday, and they were like, "Hey, can you go to New Jersey this week?" And I was like, "Can you fly me to BWI and out of BWI the following Monday?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Okay." So I got my flight paid for.
Nice.
So I get to BWI on Wednesday last week.
How far? I mean,
It's like a 3-hour drive.
so it's
Where I
like
had to
4 states away.
Yes, but it's
Yeah, it is for but
Yeah,
but
because it's Maryland, the tail end of New York.
nah. The way I went Maryland, Delaware,
Yeah.
a little bit of PA, and then into Jersey.
Yeah,
That's the thing is that like
4 states away, 3 hours.
because
Yeah.
you're Midwest,
Yeah.
which is still like the further you move west, the bigger and bigger the borders get. Like
Yeah.
and so, but if you live in Texas long enough,
Like that's
and we
I
go
drove
like,
to Houston.
Oh, it's 4 hours away, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh, so you either you drove to Austin and sat in traffic, or you made it to Houston,
Yeah,
and then but 3 hours in the Atlantic,
you see a lot.
in like New England, Mid Atlantic, or whatever, and it's like,
when we flew into Logan, took my wife up there. She's like, "What the fuck? We're in Massachusetts, New Hampshire. Now we're in Vermont."
Like,
Yeah.
quick too.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Yeah.
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 Well, that's like when even in North Carolina. So I lived in the Triad, North Carolina, and I was 4 hours from Atlanta.
Yeah.
So, and I lived like North
Yeah.
Carolina, and I was 4 hours away from being in Atlanta.
And to be fair, BWI, I was by Newark. I was up by Newark because I had to work.
Yeah.
So like BWI to that, as the like without traffic, 2.5 hours. With traffic, it was 3.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like so.
I was at a Primo in New Jersey, and we fucked around and got like we were trying to find a movie theater. And
But we're not at
accident-
Dick's.
And huh? Yeah, I was at Dick's.
Dick's.
yeah.
And well, because PSYOP likes to go to Dick's because they have that training
Fort-
company that's up there
Fort Dix.
where they bring in all those actors and like
Dick's
do the
Bug
fake
Wire.
country and all.
Yeah. A buddy of mine, double amputee buddy of mine, works there.
Yeah,
And
it's great.
he's one of those. It's great.
That company that comes in and does that immersion training up there is they're phenomenal.
Yeah, and they take that fucking role serious.
Yeah.
We're gonna give them PTSD and training.
No, they
Fucking try.
Yeah.
they pushed. They also know what the sound of a bolt slamming home sounds like, and that'll back a crowd up. But no, we were trying to find a fucking movie theater because I was up there, and I think Kung Fu Panda 2 was coming out. We were like, fuck it, we're all gonna go see fucking Kung Fu Panda. So we're trying to find this movie theater. And we like accidentally ended up in Philadelphia. Like all of a sudden we were just like, how the fuck are we in Philly?
Not fucking
And, like, and
It's not that far though.
It's not. But it was like we like took a wrong left, went over a bridge, and we're in Philly. And we were like,
an hour and 15 minutes to the link, I think.
Yeah.
Because I flew into Philly when I was up Dick's for like a fucking month.
Yeah, about
Fucking
that.
hate that place.
Then I had to tell everybody we had to turn around because I was the NCO in the car, and I was like, we technically weren't supposed to leave whatever that little town is outside of Fort Dix.
Yeah.
And there's a stellar German restaurant there though.
There's a lot
The
of good
food's
pizza
great,
joints.
man.
There's a lot of good pizza joints up there.
Anyway, we have distracted you long enough about the funeral story.
Oh yeah. So I had to go up there and I do this thing in Jersey, but before that, my rental car I want to talk about. My rental car, because I have to have a 4-wheel drive when I do these jobs, was a 2024 hybrid F-150,
Yeah.
700 miles per tank.
Wow, that's 20 more than my
Hybrid?
V8 got.
Like,
So a hybrid.
it was
F1.
fully loaded and gorgeous, man. I actually really enjoyed it. I didn't think I was going to. I was like, this thing's fucking
I'm
wonderful.
not gonna lie.
They're quick, right?
The ride in an
Dude.
F-150
Like, I'm
is
cruising.
next level.
I'm hitting triple digits on 95, and I'm like, wow, which is really illegal there because 55 is the fucking speed limit. Get your shit together, East Coast. The rest of us are going 75 here normally. That's our slow lane, right?
Yeah.
And so
Like
you cannot drive like you're a Texan in that part of the country.
You can't drive like a Texan in any part of the country.
That's true.
Dude.
To be fair though, the
then-
fuckers will get out of your the left lane. They will fucking get out of your
Oh, yeah,
way.
they'll move.
It's
Yeah.
fucking great.
Then you get to Central America and it's 60 kilometers per hour. And you're like, oh my God.
That's 46 miles an
Yeah.
hour.
Fucking stupid.
So
In
I,
all fairness, most of the vehicles in Central America, and you think about 46 miles an hour, and you're kind of rolling the dice.
I was supposed to do that job until Friday morning, right? We finished at Thursday morning at like 9:30, and they're like, "All right, we're just gonna send everybody home." And I'm like, "Well, what about me?" And they're like, "Just go back to Baltimore and whatever, and just turn." I was like, "Well, when I need to turn his truck in?" They're like, "Well,
You leave
whenever
there, right?
whenever you whenever you were gonna pick up your other rental car, because I had another rental car for my trip, right?" And I was like, "Okay, cool," which means I kept it until Friday.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right. So I go to pick up my rental car on Friday, and they're like spot 260. I'm like, okay, thanks, Hertz. So I walked to spot 260, and there's 2 Asian people sitting in my car, and I'm like, hey man, to like the guy sitting there. I was like, I think they're in my car, and he looks at my thing, and I go, it's 260, and he goes, that's 260, and I was like, I have 260. He's like, they're in 260. I'm like, thank you. I'm like, am I saying it wrong? I like showed him the thing, and he looks at it and he goes, fuck. And he signs the thing, and he goes, you tell him, so his name was Cruz. He's like, you tell him Cruz said this, take 261. I look over, brand new 2024 fucking Tahoe. And I'm like,
Fuck yeah.
fully fucking loaded. I'm like, I could have the GMC Acadia or that.
Yeah.
This'll do. I was like, so I got hooked the fuck up on rental cars this trip.
But the last rental car I had was a new Range Rover Defender, and it had 18 miles on it.
Where the fuck did you get
Fucking A.
It was fucking sweet. We went to Virginia to Goshen's shop.
Yeah.
And yeah, we got a fucking Range Rover Defender.
You flying a Reagan?
Yeah, I think so. And it was sweet. It's a cool little SUV.
Yeah.
I was really pleased with it.
And you got it young enough that it still ran.
18 miles.
Yeah.
Before it had to go through $1 billion in fucking cost of maintenance.
the
Fuck.
electrical system shit the bed and
Yeah.
I
everything
don't
else?
get it.
Good.
Man. The best era for Range Rover was when Ford had them. That's when they actually worked, and then they
What
fucking.
is this?
It was like for like 2 years. It's when because
Late 80s or
Ford bought
early 90s?
Ford owned Jaguar, Range Rover, and all those for like 3 years. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
That was the only time they were reliable, and then they went right back to like, "Hey, let's sell a $100,000 vehicle that's not going to turn on in about 3
No,
minutes."
you fucking turn on the radio and the windshield wipers go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
fuck.
Or
So-
the Land Rover that had the adjustable air suspension in the back.
Yeah.
And at about the 5,000 mile mark, the bladders would go out, so the whole back end would just go
That was like
and just sit there and just roll like it had a Carolina squat on it.
What was the fucking car? The Ford. Fuck, all of them in the early 90s. It was like a 4-door luxury type car
From Ford?
a Lincoln, maybe a Lincoln.
Oh, was it a Lincoln? So
But all the airbags would go out, and you'd see it looked like there was a low rided.
yeah,
I've been
no,
driving
it's just
a
the
Lincoln.
suspension went out.
Yeah.
So Ford began acquiring Land Rover in 2000, then finished the acquisition in 2005, and then sold them in 2008.
Oh,
So they
that's
owned
after
them.
I thought it
Wow.
was.
They
I thought it
owned
was
them
90s for some reason.
shorter than it took them to buy them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
The
they
old-
owned it.
the
Like I
old-
said, they owned it for like
the old-
3
Does
fucking
it
years.
say how much money they made?
That's another.
Well, that's also when like the XKR came out and all that stuff. Like, because Ford essentially got a hold of them and was like, "Let's make Jaguars sexy."
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah. So Dodge, right? Like specifically the Ram pickups. When Stellaris bought them, Stellantis bought them. Boy, did they make them look better. They
Yeah.
made the interiors look better.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they did. It did great.
yeah, but the engineering sucks.
The customer service
Yeah.
was horrendous.
The best era ever for the Chrysler brand was when it was Daimler Chrysler, when Mercedes had them.
Yeah,
Oh.
Mercedes had them.
Because that's when I had my Grand Cherokee.
Yeah.
I had a Jeep Grand Cherokee, and you could tell Mercedes had gotten a hold of that
Yeah.
thing because you like opened it up and it was like triple tone leather and
Yeah.
like the
When you close the door, it's chunk.
yeah,
It's
and
like
that's
fucking that,
and,
that Mercedes feel.
and that's also when they decided they were going to stuff Hemis into the fucking Grand Cherokees and shit. And I was then when I was a rep for the cigar industry, that was my over the road car was because my company paid for it. They were like, here's your max payment per month that we'll cover. So I went to Jeep and I was like, I have this much a month. And they were like, oh, sir.
right. Well, right this
like,
way, sir.
I was like, fuck, yes. And, but man, I loved that thing.
Speaking of Mercedes, this morning I had to meet up with our buddy Logan Stark.
Oh, really?
I had all his parachutes for
Yeah.
the Normandy jump, so for the Black Rifle guys. So
How's that piece of shit doing?
he's good. He's good. We shot some shotguns this morning because I met him out at the range,
Nice.
and but he pulls up in a Benz, and I'm like, "Fuck you!" And he's like, "It's my grandma car," and I'm like, "Okay."
Fucking take it.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, it just depends on what Benz it is, but still.
So there's a couple shout outs I need to give.
But he lives in Utah now, right?
No, he's still here. I think.
Oh, is he?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think he's still here.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think he's in Utah.
But he's got a baby on the way. He's really excited about it.
Good. Yeah, fuck, he should
yeah.
be.
Yeah, it's
For him.
awesome.
He'll be a good dad.
I think so. Yeah, I think he'll be great. He's excited about it, man. He's like, it's taken up pretty much all my time, and I was like, yeah, that's how that works. Get used to that. But a big fan of the show and a big fan of Horse Soldier Bourbon and a guy that I jump with out there, Tracy Lingle, started a barbecue channel. It's called My Chow Line on YouTube, right? And what he's doing is he's doing like these barbecue, like, dishes, and he's telling like a military story, like a different veteran story. Matter of fact, he smokes a warfighter in every single episode.
Oh, no shit.
Yes. He's a good fucking dude. He's like our chow guy.
I definitely know the name because he orders a lot of them.
Yeah. Big fan of the product, man. Very, very big fan. But his episode that's coming out this week is about me. And he'd asked me, he's like, hey, do you have any...
What kind of gay meal would he
He did bird ends for me. But he had asked me to tell him a story about food. And I told him the story. And I don't want to take away from his channel. So I encourage you to go see the story on his channel. I think it comes out Friday or something. But so by the time this comes out, I think it'll already be up. Yeah, I wanted to shout him out. And I brought you guys something. Now, John's not here, and Jim, I didn't know you were going to be here, buddy. But you guys have heard me talk about the Americana, the bar that I used to work at.
Yeah.
Well, I was at the funeral for my buddy Jake, who also worked with me at the Americana, and the former owner of the Americana was there, Alex, right? Alex wrote a book recently. It's called "Oh, so you're a veteran? Get over it," or something. Get over it and do something else or some shit. It's a good book. It's a good read. But
Fucking hell, I couldn't have titled that better myself.
you probably really, really enjoy it. It's kind of shitting on the entitlement.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm there for it. But I'd asked him, I was like, hey, can you grab me some of the old Americana coins that had the Army on it? So I brought you guys Americana Army
sweet.
coins. So For you. I had one for John. And I got one for you, pal.
Nice.
You know what's dope about this is I need a new ball marker.
There you go.
And this will be fucking,
Yeah, it's a good one.
that'll be perfect.
Yeah.
I'm going to play golf this Sunday, and I'm fucking hyped because I'm going to play a course I've never been on.
Which one?
We're going to play the Bandit on.
Ooh, it's nice.
Yeah.
I played it once. It's great.
It's,
I was dog shit. It was one of the worst rounds of golf I've ever had.
Well, I promised Justin for his birthday that I would either take him wherever he wanted to go for dinner, or Justin's been recently getting into golf, or I would take him, and I was like, I'll
I
buy
didn't know
you.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
I'm
what-
using your old clubs that you gave to Warfighter.
What the fuck, man?
And I was like,
I was wondering where those went.
he's been getting into golf, and
Have
I was
not
like,
missed them.
hey, I'll either. All of us have enough fucking stuff.
That driver's fucking awesome.
I was like, all of us have enough stuff. Like everybody has things and stuff and
Sure.
shit just crammed in closets and corners and things and what. Blah.
Plus, my house is even more crowded now.
Yeah, you're having to give up other space because you're having to put more people in.
Yeah.
Like that's that tracks, right?
It's funny how the smaller the person, the more shit they take.
Well, he's calling me, going like, "Hey, do you want this fucking thing?" And I'm like, "God damn it!" So he had one thing, and I was like, "That thing I can actually use." The rest of it, fucking Goodwill. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
But we're going to play it. So, but I promised Justin, I was like, I'll take you out to eat wherever you want to eat, or I'll buy you a round of golf. We'll go play golf together. And I'll take you to do an event.
Well, he eats like a fucking 10-year-old at Whataburger every day, so he doesn't want
Yeah.
food. He'd rather,
But,
he'd rather
Can
go
you
play
take
golf.
me to the gas station? To
And
get
so it happened to work out that my really good
Need
buddy
some Slim Jim.
some gushers?
just show up with a fucking patty melt from Whataburger and be like,
He's the
happy birthday.
He's the happiest guy ever. Actually, I believe you're the sweet and spicy guy.
I am
right?
a sweet and spicy.
And honestly, it's been so long since I've been at Whataburger, I forgot the menu. And I haven't eaten there since they sold.
Really?
Yeah, since they're not
Only
Texas-
thing they have is the breakfast burger.
since now
I
they're
disagree. I'm with Justin on this. I'll eat the fuck out of it. It's good.
yeah now they're not Texas owned anymore. I stopped eating there because they sold to that company in
Yeah.
Chicago.
Yeah, they did.
But and then my buddy called me and was like, "Hey, I booked us a tea time at the Bandit on this day," and I was like, "Okay, well, lock up the fourth slot, and I'm going to pay for my brother to play with us." So yeah, we're going to take him to the Bandit, which is she a big girl. I think she's like 6,900 yards or something like
Dude,
that total.
I
She a
think
big girl.
is there a par 6 on that one?
No, but there is a 560-yard par 5.
That should. Oh, so there's a par 5 that should be a par 6. Got it.
It's a monster.
I'm gonna play it like
We'd
it's
be
a
there
par
all
12.
fucking day.
Yeah, it's a par 10 for me. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I've been golfing more and more.
I haven't
It's been
golfed
nice.
since the last time we went golfing.
Yes.
No, I take that back.
I have as well.
How's your golf
We did
grip, Jim?
the Catholic.
Like, how do you?
That
With your
Yeah, the
pinky like
veteran
that?
tournament that
Like,
we
how
found
do
out was
The
not
thing
a
is,
veteran
it doesn't
tournament.
matter because I'm not good.
like, how do you?
I swing it
If
like
you don't have,
there's none of that. There's,
Oh, I don't interlock.
I couldn't interlock if I wanted to. I wouldn't even know what that is. That's a fucking term I'm not familiar with, my friend.
There's essentially 3 golf grips,
I don't want to know.
and one of them is
I'm gonna continue to suck.
this, and it's supposed to help you keep alignment. But it's
the baseball.
if you're actually
If you swing it like between a baseball bat and a fucking hockey club, you really it doesn't matter.
hockey stick actually works.
Oh, it absolutely does.
Yeah.
That's usually where I devolve.
Hockey
to,
stick
about the
works.
third fucking
Baseball swing, not so much.
baseball swing, 1 out of 10, it'll work.
It was the problem when I started teaching Caitlin because she played softball.
Same with
So
me
she
when I,
kept trying
when I
to-
started learning.
She tried to fucking
I
swing
just
it like a
can't. I
softball
just
bat,
can't.
and I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Shoulders wrong.
Well, like my only, I always got taught, keep your fucking elbow high. Well, in this one, you don't use that elbow at all. It's fucking down, man. It's like, it's completely fucking different. So.
yeah. So what's the difference swing? Nothing about a golf swing makes sense. I love how it was like, find your natural swing. I'm like, you're moving on 3 planes at the same time. There's nothing natural about this.
Yeah.
But like, this is a game where we figured out that, hey, let's make your body do everything it's not supposed to do at the same time.
That's why fucking Tiger's all broken.
That would be a car wreck, sir.
He was fucking broken before that car wreck.
Or his fucking ex-wife's fucking swinging
Also,
shit
you
at
can't,
him.
yeah, you get attacked by a golf club.
That was a terrible fucking mugshot, man. All fucked up, lumped up and shit.
My Buick.
You piece of shit.
Waffle House waitress.
I like how she fucked up his Buick. I was like, out of all the car companies to sponsor you, you're Tiger fucking Woods and you got Buick.
Right?
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, I just watched the Masters And
There's not been a Buick besides the Grand National. There's not been a Buick that's broken 55 miles an hour ever made.
The Skylock.
Still,
it's like
I've never seen one go 55.
I just watched the Masters, and I don't have cable, so I streamed it on Paramount because they were showing it. And the featured pairing in the morning of the final day was Tiger, and the Tiger did horrible at the Masters. It was him and the
Something shit.
the high amateur. So this guy named Shipley who fucking kicked Tiger's ass. It was bad.
He played really good.
Yeah. And it was that, but I watched all 4 days of the Masters, and because I streamed it, there was only 2 commercials for the whole fucking thing. And it was either Mercedes-Benz or Rolex.
Tracks.
And all of the Mercedes-Benz ads were like the AMG electric one. That they were like, this is the fastest AMG SUV ever made. Or it was their Maybach. Or like, whenever it was just like, so we know Mercedes loves to advertise with the PGA.
Yeah.
And you couldn't get that sponsorship. You got fucking Buick.
Yeah.
Like that was like
The
fuck,
La
man.
Sabre. Come on.
I don't even think I could tell you a current Buick.
Ooh.
There are no. Well, there's.
Did it go under? I don't even
No, they're around.
No,
but
they're
they make
still
like these
around.
weird little crossover SUVs now.
Yeah, I
You
can't,
know?
they all,
Yeah.
everybody's.
I can't remember what the fuck it is.
Rendezvous.
Everybody's
The
logo.
Buick Rendezvous? Is that one?
They all look-
No, that was the one that looked like the Pontiac Aztec, and I think they got rid of that.
The Pontiac
The
Aztec. Quite arguably the ugliest fucking thing ever made.
The worst.
I think I
vehicle.
went one up you.
Dude, it
But
looked
it had
like it looked like it was made out of Lego.
But it had a built-in tint.
Yeah, it was fucking weird, man.
The Marker XR4 Ti.
Yeah, that was weird too.
The Merker.
The Merker.
The
You know,
Merker.
I saw one of those
Mel,
What
hell
the
no.
fuck?
at the forum. And it was this dude, and he had it all cammed out and shit, and he was rolling it through the forum, and this thing was just chugga 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 chugga.
This is the first car I fucking ever drove. My cousin had one.
Look at this, the 2024.
Yeah,
Look,
see,
look at that.
it's all crossovers.
There is 8 cars on the screen, and I can't tell you
They're
That,
all,
like,
and
a
they're all
single difference.
They're all hatchbacks. Every single one of them is hatchback.
Well, I think that's do they make cars yet too, right?
This is
No,
literally their
nobody's
page
really
that said
making
view
fucking-
all inventory.
No fucking way. Scroll down.
Yeah.
That's like Ford doesn't make cars anymore either. Ford makes trucks and
the Ford
and the Mustang.
The Mustang.
And
What?
that's it.
That's but the Mustang is the only.
Really? They
Car.
don't make
It's the
a
only
single
non-
car anymore.
Yeah.
It's the only non-truck chassis.
Yeah.
there.
There's no Taurus
The
anymore.
funny thing is you can barely tell the difference between any of
It's
these.
the lights. Maybe.
Yeah, it's just, all it does is it goes from the Invista
the
to that
first ever
Avenir,
Invista.
and it literally
Keeps
just
changing
It's
a
just
little bit.
slightly bigger.
Yeah.
It's literally like trim styles.
Yeah.
You know what it almost looks like? Well, it's like Subaru.
Yeah. Subaru's
Like Subaru, the Forester looks exactly like an Outback, just a little different size.
Even their big SUV just looks like an Outback that
Yeah.
fucking grew up.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, shit.
When we were car
I mean,
shopping,
lesbians are gonna pay for them anyways. It's
when
fine.
we were car shopping, Caitlin wanted to go look at the big Subaru SUV.
Yeah.
So we went and looked at it, and we looked at it, didn't drive it at all. But
Yeah.
they had the brand new WRX STI sitting there. And I was talking to the guy, and I was like, I want to drive this thing. And he's like, fuck yeah, dude, but let's go get the good one. And we went outside on it. And it was actually whatever this road's called. What's the
15, 18.
1518? We got on this thing, and he was like, there's never any cop. And I was like, no, I know where the one cop sits. So I'll
There's
slow it down
defi-
there.
He's a fucking liar. There's
And,
always
yeah,
cops on
and,
this road.
And he literally told me, and he was like, they don't track these things. Just let it rip. And I fucking just hammered on that thing. And I found where the boost limiter was on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a fucking cool little car. If we didn't actually have to move stuff around, I might have bought that fucking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's for the
It's fun.
for the fast lesbians.
But then I saw that new the Lexus RC350F.
Dude, that one looks good.
Ooh.
That's a good-
Ah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Look up the new Lexus. That's
the Lexus
big
RC350. No, that's the 2-door.
Oh, have you seen the new big SUV?
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
The off-road. Or
But the
fucking whatever
Lexus
fuck.
RC350F is this fucking
It's,
a
it's
coupe.
long, right? But
no,
it's
no,
long?
no. It's like the size of an M3.
Oh, okay.
It's like their little 2-door fucking. But then if you look at the spec sheet on that fucking thing, and oh my god, it'd kill me.
the new
But I'd have a good time doing it.
the new Lexus SUV looks good. I saw a Toyota. What's their big SUV?
The Land Cruiser.
No,
no, the
It's back.
Oh, what the hell? I test drove one when
They're-
Haley was looking.
The RAV4.
No, bigger, way bigger than that.
The big one.
Yeah.
Sequoia?
That's the smallest
Sequoia.
one?
Sequoia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Those are nice.
They're
My grandpa had
fucking nice.
My grandfather had the first generation of the Sequoia,
dude.
and it was dope as
They were
shit.
big.
Yeah.
And that was in like 03, and it was still a fucking.
Oh, Universal Toyota over here tried to fucking sell me and Haley on one. They're like, it's only 90 grand. I'm
Yeah.
like, kiss my ass with your tongue out, man. I was like, I'm not buying this thing.
That's like
Well,
I
let's just
was-
take it for a test drive. We can drive it. We're not fucking getting it. I'm telling you now. Let
I
me
was
work it. Let me work it.
super
Let me work
hyped
it.
when they re-announced that they were releasing the Wagoneer from Jeep, and then they dropped it, and it was like $98,000,
Like,
and I was like, for a
Fuck
Jeep,
out of here.
it, like,
They're pretty nice though.
They're
again,
not 98
You
grand.
need to go to a Mercedes dealership. It like
Yeah.
if I'm going to spend 6 figures on a
If I'm getting
fucking
bent over, it's going to be fucking by the Nazis.
yeah,
Like,
like if I'm going to spend 6 figures, if I'm going to spend 6 figures on a vehicle, it's not going to say Ford or Jeep on the front of it. Like fuck off. No fucking way.
Mine does.
That's different. All right. That is a wildly specific, built for fucking specific
specific
things.
thing. Yeah.
Well, built for a lot of specific things, really, because you can tow anything on the fucking planet. Right. So that's much different. Yeah, dude.
Like I couldn't fathom spending $100,000 on a sports car because only thing
Ooh,
it
that
can
depends
haul,
on the sports car.
the only thing it can haul is my ass.
Yep. And that's what I spent the money on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it can haul that ass real fast.
Because I'm not gonna lie, the brand new Corvette is
Oh,
$100,000, and yeah.
That's pretty nice. Mhm.
Every time I see one, I'm just
Too
like,
spacey for me.
oh,
I like the new Corvette.
I know you do. You've been fucking talking about that for fucking ever.
it's so fucking.
Why? What do you go ahead and advocate for a Charger right now? I dare you.
He's got a Challenger.
It just got
That's just a Charger that's heavier. That's all.
Charger. Well,
No, the Challenger actually does way more than the Charger.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Dodge's biggest downfall. They put these massive motors in, and then the car weighs like they're
Yeah.
just fucking heavy.
Don't get me wrong.
They look
It's got enough torque to crawl up a fucking wall.
The thing is they look fantastic,
Sure.
and then you look at the weight, and you're just like, God damn! It like
Yeah, they're heavier than fuck.
My 500 horsepower does the job.
Oh, it'll pull it for sure.
yeah, but if it was 500 horsepower and the weight of a Mustang,
Yeah, no.
that thing would be fucking.
You put wings on it and take off.
I got 500 horsepower and
That-
1,000 foot-pounds of torque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That your truck fucking moves, man. My wife's F-250 fucking screws.
Yeah. Well, dude, have you ever ridden with John in his F-250? Holy fuck, man, that thing goes, bro.
Fucking
Like that is 0 to 100. In
The F-150 I
seconds.
traded in had the 5.0 in it,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
it just hoofed, and it was just like
And it was a little older too, and it was still fucking raw.
That Shelby
19
F-150's got a
Yeah.
700 horsepower
yeah.
at 100 grand.
The funny thing is, now I have that Explorer, and it weighs more than my F-150 did.
Yeah,
It's probably
yeah.
just as quick though.
probably.
Just about.
Yeah.
Just about. The problem is it's new, so it has like 18 fucking drive modes in it, and I'm just like, fuck. And it's I used to like get in it, and I'd always like change it over, so I had the power band.
Why
and shit.
doesn't it stay on the last setting?
And
oh my
then I
here's-
got tired of having to fucking feel like I was getting ready to fucking launch a space shuttle because I had to like, okay,
Yeah.
turn this off and turn that off and turn this on and dial
Yeah.
that. And I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. Just push the button.
Yeah.
It just,
What?
I do wish they would put in like hey, here's the default for the start.
Yeah. Here
And
you,
now
you,
you can go in
pick
and
your
change
default.
the user default.
and that I want the default to turn off the fucking automatic
stop
and start shit. That fucking hate
last
that shit.
setting. It should stay to the last setting.
Yeah, like, and
Oh
I
my-
turn it off. I have to push the button every fucking time I get in Haley's car, and it drives me batshit.
And there's
Or
no-
like my rental cars
There's
this week.
absolutely
all
no
of them.
reason for it. That's like my car remembers who the driver is
Yeah.
based on the key.
Yeah.
And both keys can be in the car, but it knows which key
Yep.
is in the driver's seat and
Yeah.
sets everything to that. And I'm like, set my drive modes to my key.
Well,
Yes.
like Haley's got options. It's 1 and 2. Like she's 1, I'm 2. I hit 2, boom, boom, boom.
No, but
Like, and
mine
it's
has it
I'm
on
programmed.
You know
it
what
has
you-
it on the door, but it remembers it based on my key.
You know,
So
you know
if
how I
sit
fucked up the other
down-
day is all our fobs needed new batteries,
Oh shit!
Yeah.
and me and Michelle's fob got mixed up. So I go to get in my truck, and it damn near kills me. Like I open the door, sit down, close the door, start it.
God
damn
it! All of a sudden, you're eating the steering wheel.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But it changes everything. It changes.
Yeah.
It changes radio presets.
Yeah.
Like, so you can't tell me that I can't get in here and be like, you know what? I want it to be on the fucking S mode, or
Like,
whatever the fuck it
I
is,
didn't-
so that I get like everything out of the turbo.
I didn't buy my Expedition that
yeah,
has a twin
for
turbo
eco mode.
so that it shuts off at a stoplight.
Yeah.
Like
Fucking
get
hate it, dude.
fuck
Mine's the
off.
same way. The one we bought with it's the biggest motor you can put in the Explorer, which
Yeah.
is the twin turbo,
Yeah,
whatever. And I bought it
It's probably the same engine.
because when
probably is.
we went to go trade in the F-150, because Caitlin wanted, she was like, we don't really need the pickup, and I'd like an SUV for the dogs. And I was like, okay, totally fair. Then we're buying, like, it has to be at least the size of an Explorer, and I want fucking.
Well, that you said that your fucking truck did the automatic shut off shit and didn't turn
That's
back
the only
on.
reason we
You
decided
were
to
like,
do it. Is I was at a light.
Nope.
I was
So-
at a light. I put my foot on the brake, and the auto stop shit shut my car off, and then I took my foot off the brake, and it went ying 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 boom, and I was like, nope. And we literally, and I was like, our errands are done, and we
Yeah.
drove to the dealership, and I was
Yep.
like, hell
So
no.
my boy's got this forescan thing.
You're supposed to cut that off.
yeah, dude.
And that was
Ford scan.
Forward.
But it's Ford scan.
I heard
Oh.
forescan.
Yeah, forescan, not skin.
I was like,
scan. But anyway, I'm
Your
to
boy
the
still
point.
got that?
I'm to the point where I'm gonna have him hook it up.
Not
and
super
Shut
hygienic.
my auto
VARC?
start off, and if it works,
I'm bringing my
mine,
car in. Yeah,
I'll let
it
you
was
know. 'cause
Fucking.
it is.
Supposedly, there's some keystroke that you can do in the car that will flip it, or you
I
have to
told-
turn it on.
You shouldn't have to slaughter a fucking chicken to get
Yeah.
your car to do all
What
that
you
fucking
want it to
thing.
do. Yeah.
Dude, my
Now,
Dodge,
I-
I hit 3 or 4 buttons, sport mode. You want to fucking jet this fucker up to boom, 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 and it fucking does.
But you have to do it every time you get in.
no, it'll stay. My Dodge
that's
stays like the
nice.
last.
So if Dodge could do it, goddamn well the rest
Yeah.
of them
Ford
do it.
can
Why
do
the
that.
fuck can't they?
Ford.
Because mine
Ford,
does
listen to
your
this
Expedition
podcast.
have the little dial?
Yeah.
And you could. So I have the dial for my gearbox,
Yeah,
and then I
and
have
the sports
and then
mode.
I have the
Yeah,
dial for the
different modes,
modes.
Yeah.
I'm just like, so it's obviously a digital position because you can spin that fucking
Yeah.
thing forever, right?
Right.
So I'm like, it's a digital position. Key one
Yes.
should just leave it in fucking S mode or sport
Yeah.
mode, whatever the red line mode, whatever the fuck Ford calls it.
Whatever fucking mode you left it in.
Yeah. Which, because
But
on
I
that
tell you
one,
what,
on the turbo motors,
I
it
used to have
literally- it spools your turbos faster.
I used to have the Expedition,
Yeah.
or Explorer. Sport mode compared to regular mode,
It's a
is
different car.
fucking different car.
It's a
Dude,
different car.
It is like holy.
When
fuck.
Haley had the RAV4, same thing, man. You throw that thing in sport mode and it was like, like what the fuck, dude?
But the
It-
whole reason I bought that thing, I told Caitlin, I was like, we can get the SUV. I want all the fucking bells and whistles in
Yeah.
it. Like, I want it to have all the stupid shit that I'm not going to use.
buy once, cry once.
Well, like my third row has heated seats. What the fuck does that? like,
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had them folded up because they fold flat into the deck.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
need it for the dogs. Yeah.
Yeah, but and like,
Not so much in Texas.
and I wanted all
in Nebraska, that was a big deal.
I wanted all the perforated leather, and it's got all the rest of the shit that everything has now: the cooled seats, the heated seats, the panoramic sunroof, the fucking.
Yep.
I also wanted the brake hold thing that because I fucking love that shit where you just you push the brake in, you can take your foot off, and it just holds your car in position
like that
and it
too.
doesn't move till you. My bike has it. I can pull my brake lever on my bike, and you feel it pulse, and it turns on the brake hold, and I can let go of the brake, and the bike just
What about your clutch?
that I just hold in,
Oh yeah.
and but it'll just hold it.
Huh.
So I don't have to like clutch ride it. So the clutch goes to brake over. So there's no pressure on it at that point, and the brake just auto holds. My bike has it.
Oh, huh.
And but I'm like, it has all of that shit. It can't remember that I just want it in sport mode and don't turn off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like-
Stop fucking turning off at stoplights.
I the first time, like Michelle had just bought a new F-150.
That's the reason I won't get rid of my truck. It doesn't have that shit.
She bought a
It
new
won't break either.
F-150. And this is probably in, I don't know, 2015,
Yeah.
right? And we just bought it. We're driving home. We stop at the drive-thru to get some food on the way home, right? At the drive-thru, it shuts off. And we're both like, what the fuck? Like, we didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, right.
Like, how the fuck? Like, what the fuck? We're pushing the button to turn it off and it just shuts off. Like, all the electronics shut off. Like, what the fuck? And then we finally let go of the brake and it turns back on. We're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, it was just like, this is stupid.
Yeah. It's the dumbest thing ever.
And it's going to save you what?
It'll save you 30 cents in gas a year.
Yeah.
But here's my complaint on it is like, you guys know how starters work. There's a Bendix inside of a starter.
Yeah, it shreds your
And
starter.
it'll shred it, man. Because every time you fucking turn the key, it pops in, hits the
I
flywheel,
know.
starts the fucking vehicle, right?
Well,
That Bendix popping in and out every fucking
and
time.
they put a more expensive battery in your car.
Of course.
Yeah. So when you go to replace your battery, it's $300 instead of $100.
So now it's that. Plus, eventually your starter's going to shit the bed like Jazz has started to. And this was a 2019. This happened, what, fucking 4 months ago or 5 months ago, whenever that happened? Like, I mean, they don't last that fucking long, man.
It's
Like,
just
a problem.
annoying.
The
It's
other thing
annoying.
was that I bought that F-150 with a 5-liter V8 in it.
Yeah.
Why the fuck
Yeah.
is there an auto start stop for Econ in that fucking car?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I bought a 6,000-pound vehicle with a V8 in it because I was really looking for great fuel.
I bought an
silly, dude.
Expedition with a Raptor motor.
Yeah,
And it
I'm
shuts
like,
off?
What the fuck?
Like how? It's so dumb.
Ford.
Yeah.
No,
Fix it, Ford.
I did enjoy the fucking rental, though. That was a very nice truck.
I love
Super
my
nice
F-150. I really
Now
like
the
that
electric
fucking
trucks,
Explorer, though.
right? Like because we had
The
we
Lightning.
had the
The Maverick was impressive.
we had the hybrid Maverick,
Yeah.
and that stopped the engine at the stoplight, but it was different.
Yeah. Well, because
It didn't feel the same.
It clicked into fucking
Electric
and
mode.
that's what this F-150 was doing.
Yeah.
Because you notice
And it feels different.
it does. It does.
When you have a gas motor only shut off,
Yeah.
and then
there's no you know.
yeah, there's
Well, I think
a
the
half a
Maverick-
second delay when you like want to go.
And
Yeah.
the Maverick doesn't even use the gas motor till you're above like 20. And then it kicks
Yeah.
the gas in or whatever.
Yeah.
Or if you floor it.
My least favorite part about that auto start stop is that I live in fucking Texas.
And they're stopped.
And like this last summer,
Yes.
it was 100 days straight of 100 and fuck outside.
And you
Yep.
can feel
So
your
then
fucking
you
vent go from
stop and
cold to
just,
hot.
to just
Yep.
blowing just hot air at me. And I'm like,
Yeah.
fucking.
Yeah, it's not conducive to
Hey,
this.
I don't know how we got on this topic, but fuck Ford, fix it.
Yeah.
Remember the last setting and just stay there. Just fucking stay there. Like it's not hard.
Yeah.
Smiles and Toyota owner.
Oh, yeah, well, okay. I'm going to bitch about Toyota for a minute.
Let's go.
It took Toyota till 2022 to like get any of the options that were available for 7 years prior in any other make.
That's true.
Like
That's
they're
true.
finally,
Like my 2020
they're just now coming around.
doesn't
They're-
have like
they're-
my 2020 doesn't have cooled seats. It's got every fucking thing else.
Does it have adaptive cruise control?
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
But it took them fucking forever.
Well, they're
to do that,
advertising
especially the
right
Tundra.
now that they finally put the roll down rear window back into the 4Runner.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
that's the one thing I like
That's
about
your-
the Tundra.
that's your
That was
ad
cool.
campaign right now? Is that the back glass? You took it out for 15 fucking years
And
you brought
nobody
it back,
cares
you're
about
like,
that.
hey,
Yeah.
we haven't really improved this thing.
Like
But we put a roll down
Blazer
back
did away with that in 1990.
Right.
And nobody bitched.
Like
Because they get stuck in the fucking down position, and that was the end of the fucking.
right.
exactly.
Jesus.
Anyway, just
Toyota should just be like, it won't break.
Yeah.
Buy it.
yeah,
That should be your whole ad campaign. It doesn't break that often.
yeah.
There you go. Okay.
They will run forever.
Fucking forever. Like
I mean,
you'll
they're-
get 200 grand out of a fucking
You'll
Toyota.
get 300,000
Yeah.
out of a fucking
Yeah.
Toyota.
You know?
What's in current events? We started talking about something before.
Oh, the Alec Baldwin murder case.
Yeah.
So apparently the armorer got 18 months.
Which I think is a light sentence.
It's the maximum penalty for the felony.
What was the felony? What was the exact?
Accidental manslaughter.
Okay.
Manslaughter, whatever.
Yeah.
Third degree or whatever the fuck.
Do y'all think since they finally charged her that they might have a charge coming for Alec Baldwin?
Well, he's the one that pulled the trigger.
So, well, here's the other thing: is look at the bottom here. David Halls, the film's first assistant director, the first AD, who had conducted the safety check on the revolver prior to the shooting, was charged with negligent use of a deadly weapon in connection with the incident. He pled no contest to the misdemeanor and was sentenced last year to 6 months.
Probation.
Yeah, probation.
6 months probation.
Yeah, 6 months probation as part of a plea deal. That's the guy. If you just did the safety check,
Well,
you obviously fucked
You're
that
part
up.
of the chain of custody that
Alec,
fucked up.
Alec Baldwin, right?
What was the budget on this film? $4?
It was a low budget, like whatever. Like
No, okay. So I'm going to tell you right now.
I think it was actually an SNL skit.
The standard on a film set is that nobody, and I mean nobody, touches the weapon except the armorer until it is time to hand it to the actor.
Who does?
It says, you alone, this was a quote from the judge, you alone turned a safe weapon into a lethal weapon.
It's true.
I don't think she alone did that.
Well, no, it was 100% her responsibility.
Yeah, it's the armor.
You are an armor, right? And okay, what was this chick's fucking resume to
Well,
become
she
an
didn't have-
armor?
Her
That's the
dad was
thing.
an armor. That was her resume.
My dad had guns.
Her dad was like a longtime Hollywood armor.
And that's how you know this wasn't. So, look, I am not a union guy.
The budget was $8 million, by the way.
Okay, so you had enough to.
I'm just saying, what does it take to become a Hollywood armor? 'Cause
This is
I
also,
would
this
be good at that.
This couldn't have been a union show because this had to be fully independent. It had to be.
No.
This is a non-union show.
No, this was a big.
You said
Nah,
the
it was
budget
gonna be
was
like
$8 million.
That's
That's
gonna be on Netflix or one of the fucking
anything
whatever.
sub 10 million. By the way, is considered to be a zero budget film.
Yeah.
Just so you know. So this couldn't have been union. There's no fucking way a first AD would have done a safety check on a revolver.
They
Yeah,
should,
why-
they
yeah,
shouldn't
why-
be
yeah,
using
why
any
was
of
the
these
first
fucking
date-
weapons?
That's
The weapons that were
nowhere.
going to be in the film shouldn't have been at the range that they did.
Nowhere
No.
does a first AD ever interact with the weapon. It's not even their purview.
With
First
props.
The first AD's job is to make sure that all of the departments near the camera are where they're supposed to be and on time.
Yeah.
That's their job. It's not
It's
checking
project management.
It's not
So the-
checking revolvers.
The one time I was on a movie set, it was literally the armor handing it to the actor.
That's the only way it should be, and it's for this.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, he does have an IMDb page.
true.
I do.
So, I mean, that's true.
So, a leading film and television union in New Mexico has criticized the producers of Rust for replacing workers with non-union members and for ignoring complaints about conditions on set.
This wasn't the only thing.
Jazz, it's almost like you know what you're talking about.
This would have never because look, I'm not pro union, but there's a reason that unions exist on film sets, and things have to be held to a standard. It's also to make sure that the unions did get together so that below the line workers are
Yeah.
guaranteed a certain amount that they're getting paid.
Yeah.
So in a film budget, you have above the line and below the line.
In theory, a union makes perfect sense.
In film,
But-
it makes a lot of sense.
But then you get people involved and they take advantage.
Well, I mean, with seeing what these guys make and how fucking they dog them
yeah.
on some of those film sets, they get fucking.
Well, it's also to maintain work days and stuff like that because you have these independent films. So the union standard for like IATSE, which is all the people that do grip and electric and all that kind of stuff on film, essentially everybody that builds everything and makes sure that the lights work and everything. You can do 12 hours on, and then there has to be a 12-hour break, and then you can do so it's 12 and 12. There has to be a 12-hour. You can work 12 hours, but there's a 12-hour gap. That's union standard. You get into these independent films, and then they're like, "Well, we're behind schedule, so we're just going to keep fucking filming."
Yeah.
And like that standard is where safety lets go and all that kind of stuff, and then motherfuckers get shot or people are
but
sleeping.
how-
and you drop fucking.
How in the world does a live round get put into a
Well, we found out.
any gun?
They-
I know,
they,
but like
they went to the. I
It
know,
doesn't even look like a blank. You know what I mean? It's like when you're loading it, one of these doesn't look right.
but, but
It
literally
has one of those on the tip of it.
like we do skits and shit with real guns that have had real bullets in them all the time, right? And I am 0% worried about there being an incident,
Well,
right? But if you're a dedicated movie prop gun or a movie armor, there
Yeah.
should never, ever be a live round put in any of those guns ever.
ever. Yeah.
Like, I don't understand that.
I don't. I mean, they went to the range that they like. they
I
should have
know.
been other guns. Like we're going to use these other ones. We're not going to use any of them that are going to be anywhere.
No, they should have been locked up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was just. Whatever.
Yeah,
There was a lot of fucking shit.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a lot of people that now they should never be allowed to work again.
Yeah.
Whoever coordinated that range day and used the set guns for it,
Yeah,
you should never be allowed on a film set again.
I agree.
And honestly, should also be brought up on charges because you took what is supposed to be a non-functional
Well,
weapon.
the armor let it happen. She's ultimately should be responsible for a lot of it.
Well, yeah,
Now-
'cause who secured it after the fucking range day?
Yeah.
Right? Like it
You
had to be the
It
armor.
should have been her. She has to
Yeah.
sign for it.
And Christ, when we get back from a weekend and I'm putting guns back in the arms.
check.
You check
I
everything.
check everything, and
every time.
I've found loaded. I've found it before.
I don't
Sure,
let somebody.
But you catch it.
I don't let somebody look at the shit. Look at my guns until I have picked them up, dropped the magazine, cleared it, and everything. And everything's like locked
Yeah.
to the rear and everything, and I hand it off.
And then they look at it.
Every time, like if you show me a new pistol and you'll clear it,
I clear it.
I grab it. I
I
clear it a few times, and
Yeah.
and it's just second nature. Granted, that's also training that we've had,
Yeah,
right?
that's-
We've all been trained.
But that's why I go
to do that
back to what fucking experience did this chick have?
shit. Fuck all.
It's in the article, right? That she had.
She's about to
very,
have
very little.
an experience of 18 months in prison. I do like Jazz made a good point though. How do you get to the point where you could be like, yeah, my schedule doesn't really work with this trial. Can we push it off like a solid 18 months?
Yeah, what the fuck?
There was a video.
So his trial is supposed to start in July. So it's still not even like close to starting.
And the first AD got sentenced last year.
Well, because he was smart. He you know what he did? He assumed some responsibility.
He pled no contest.
He pled no contest because, like I fucked up. If I was that armor, I would absolutely be like, I'm sorry. Like I
Yeah.
fucked up.
yeah.
I absolutely 100%.
But she tried to be like, I didn't do anything
It's not
wrong.
my fault.
I didn't do it.
I didn't pull the trigger.
I don't know if she said that or not. I don't know.
But that's kind of where this is at. If you
Yeah.
went to trial and now have been found guilty,
But even now,
and they were handing out plea deals,
Yeah, you're fucked. You fucked yourself. You could have already been done with your probation.
yeah. but even Alec Baldwin, like he has to bear some responsibility.
Well, like Johnny Cochran said, the color of justice is green.
Yeah, that's true,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
He also said, if the glove don't fit,
So
you
I'm
must
curious.
quit.
So Brandon Lee died on the set of The Crow.
Yeah.
But that was
Because
from a
of-
blank.
The blank blew out the plug,
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
Did anybody go to jail for that?
Let
No,
me do it quickly.
Never heard.
I don't
about any
believe
of that.
so because I think that was
It was a
well,
legitimate accident.
That was deemed a legitimate accident because they were doing they did all of their due diligence.
I love
it was
the
just a
conspiracy
faulty-
theory that
Was
popped up
was
about that,
Brandon
though.
Lee?
That-
Was that a live
Fucking
round?
forever.
No.
It was
No,
the
it was-
cardboard or like
The-
something,
the
whatever.
weld-
Justin's looking
welds
it
I
up.
think the weld let go in the barrel.
Yeah.
So
No, I think that's
so
what
it
it
hit
was.
him like a bullet.
Yeah.
But
What's crazy?
I
that
love
part's
the
still in the movie.
I loved the conspiracy
Like-
theories that cracked up about that though.
It's very authentic.
because Bruce was teaching.
Right.
a-
That's
a
all part of the
martial
whole
art that
fucking.
wasn't
He was
supposed to teach. and
cursed. And,
Brandon was doing it on camera, and so.
That's because they put out the Dragon, the Bruce Lee story, like shortly after that.
But it
And
was
like,
the whole thing with this whole because they were using a martial art that was never supposed to be seen by the public.
It was cursed.
They were coming in and they were sending people in to kill them, and
oh, dude, I drank so much of that. Don't get me wrong. I could definitely go for a drink right now. My body is like, don't you fucking dare. All right. Like,
His fucking arm will fall off just to stop him.
bro, I like the copious amounts of fucking booze that I put into my body this weekend was Baltimore's bad for your fucking health, dude. When you hang out with the fucking
So
bartender crew that I know, holy fucking now, because we're all old heads, most of them either own or run every fucking bar. So it's like, you're not going in there to see the bartender that's like your 25-year-old buddy. You're going in there to see that bartender's boss's boss. And it's like, open a tab. Fuck. It's like, all right, let's go.
Sounds like you need to invite a buddy to Baltimore.
Dude, I'm telling you, if we did a weekend in Baltimore, and I think we should, I would love to see it because holy fuck. I will say that city has gotten
that
fucking
city.
worse. This is something that's really, really
Really?
true. Dude, we are so fucking fortunate here in Texas.
Yeah.
So many levels.
The government, the administration that's currently in office, we've seen a fucking impact here in Texas on our daily lives. I appreciate Texas even more so because we've seen it minimal compared to those fucking cities. Yeah. You know, I was talking to my buddy Jim's girlfriend, who is a wonderful lady, very, very sweet, classic liberal, right? Classic liberal, not a leftist, not a twat. She's great. All right. She's great. And she's one of those that you could have a conversation, and she was intelligent and lovely. And I really did appreciate her. Her name's Michelle, and she's fucking great. So her and I were having this conversation, and a little bit politically charged, but not bad. And I was just like, I can't justify voting for that dude that's currently in there. I can't justify it
Yeah.
because there's any other option right now
Can't fathom it.
is better. than that, you know? And she's like, but Donald Trump. And I was like, I also can't argue that man did a bad job at his job. Like 4 years of Donald Trump, he had the hardest fucking presidency in fucking history as far as noise goes. And if you deny that, you're fucking wearing fucking blinders, you know? And he excelled. And I really miss $1.38 a gallon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've said this publicly hundreds of times. I don't like Donald Trump, the person. I think he's a fucking New York douchebag.
No, I think Donald Trump, the person, would be a decent person. I really do.
I'm a kid from Boston. I automatically hate him because he's a New Yorker that's a rich douchebag.
Okay. I get that a lot. But I think if he just quit tweeting things that were so easily taken out of context.
Sure.
Like he needs
well,
to be
there's zero filter on that, man.
Yeah.
But
which I also appreciate a little bit.
But to a point, sure.
Yeah.
But not as a political leader, right?
But if you're setting up layups for the other
that's what he's doing is the other side is strangling themselves with all the bullshit, the crime and everything. Just let them continue to strangle themselves.
Yeah, dude. They're already digging their own grave.
Just let it go.
Let it happen.
Yeah.
You know, like let their actions speak for themselves.
He's gotten a lot better.
He has.
Well, I think he learned a pretty big lesson.
Yeah. But anyways, here or there, seeing the impact in a blue city that's already as kind of fucked up as Baltimore was is crazy.
The fact that you say it's worse than when you were there.
Worse.
When you were there during like The Wire.
Yeah.
Like
and it's fucking worse, bro. Like I'm not sure. Wow, man. Like I was like, damn. And honestly, COVID did not do that city any fucking favors.
Yeah.
That stuff.
You know, it was fuck, man. And credit to them, they're all still fucking real liberal. And I'm like, I don't understand y'all. Like, look what you've seen the transition.
Yeah.
You know it's not fucking working. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
That's because I am utterly convinced that suffering has become addictive. It's fashionable.
It is
to be the victim.
No, it's fashionable to bitch.
Yeah.
And it's
because they don't want to look like they're privileged.
well, no, it's in everything now. Like I have for example, there's a product change that is happening this summer for one of the big products that I sell. And they're updating the rules. It's been 4 years and they're doing a rules update. It happens every 4 years to everything that company puts out. And this summer, they're literally burning all the rules down and starting over. It's not even like here's an update. It's literally a start over. Most people are excited. And I've had people that walk in and they're like, so how many people are upset about this, that, and I've just cut them off and been like, nobody, actually. It's just people like you that sit online and you're lonely and you like to bitch because you think that drama is somehow making you special. Everybody else is actually excited that the game that they've now been playing the same way for 4 fucking years is getting an update. And now things move on. We had this discussion a couple weeks ago
it's like getting a brand new game.
About you and firearms.
Yeah.
That you haven't done the whole like, God damn it, this got better.
Yeah.
I want it the worst way.
I
And
like new shit. Yeah.
And most people that are really into a hobby, they like when it evolves. This is the same thing with video games and new downloadable content comes out, or a movie you loved gets a sequel and it's, and it doesn't suck. Like typically when something advances, we just talked about it with cars where it's like, I love everything that happened. Yeah, there's a couple of things that bug me, but for the most part, I like this, that, and the other. I have literally now just started just shutting people off and just going like, we're not going to do that in here. If you can't, we're going to focus on the fact that this is a hobby that you're supposed to enjoy.
Yeah.
And we're not going to sit here and bitch about it. And I literally think life is so good that people are now just inventing shit to fucking piss and moan about.
Can confirm.
Because it makes people feel special that they can complain about it. And it's like,
that's the whole internet thing.
It's like, fuck, man. Like,
well, I mean, and I think that's a reflection of how awesome this country is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it needs to be recognized, right? Like we have it so fucking good, and we can say that from a position of seeing the rest of the world.
Yeah. Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we have it so fucking good that we create problems in our own fucking brain.
The people who bitch the most have seen the least.
Oh, 100%.
They've never left their neighborhood. They've never left their city, their
You've
state.
got people complaining or advocating for a terrorist organization, thinking that Hamas is going to kill them.
Oh, we need a ceasefire. Well, what was wrong with the ceasefire before Hamas violated it?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
See what they did.
We had one of those.
Yeah.
And they said, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like,
They don't have a grasp of history, whether it's Hamas and everything that's going on there or anything that's gone on in this country. They have if it didn't happen literally 5 fucking minutes ago on fucking Instagram or fucking whatever, it didn't happen.
dude, I'm convinced you could replace Hamas with Al Qaeda, and they'd be like, I think we should let Al Qaeda go.
This whole
It's like,
scenario,
you don't even remember fucking 2001, do you?
this whole scenario would be like if I got up, walked around the table, and punched you in the fucking face, and then you kicked my ass, and everybody was cheering for me.
Right? Like, yeah.
Like, what?
But then we'd all forget about it 5 minutes later.
Like, oh, free Scott. Well, Scott punched Mikey in the fucking face.
Like, yeah.
No, but Mikey's kicking his ass. Free Scott. Like, what? Like, I don't get it.
No, dude, that's your part of the desk. He took it from you.
Well, it is my desk.
Sort of.
Oh, wait. Leon made this for us.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
No, like,
You want to fight? Let's see who they cheer for.
Matter of fact, we're going to talk about it. He's sitting in my chair. All right.
Yeah,
I'm in
exactly.
John's chair.
Exactly.
so you are one of the ones
Step
taking
over
things.
this fucking line.
So you are taking things from the Jews.
Hey. Dude, I'm so pro Jew. The Jews are awesome. The Jews are awesome, dude. Like, I just went to a Jewish funeral. Like the whole prayer and everything in Hebrew and shit. And I was just like, I don't know what's happening, but bro.
Again,
Tell me there was some jokes.
it's another culture that's pro hat. It's a very hat-based culture.
hat-based culture.
Small hat.
That's not true.
Well,
The
they're
more important
humble.
you get,
They do have big hats.
the more important you get.
Yeah, they do kind of have like a.
You get the
My buddy Jim, who I love dearly, one of the funniest dudes I've ever met. He's a Marine veteran. I fucking adore this guy. I stayed in his house. He got up to say something about our friend Jake. Jewish family, Jewish funeral. Quoted 1 Corinthians. I was like, you just quoted the New Testament to a room full of Jews. I was like,
most of them are cool about it. Though.
fucking, they were cool. But I was just like,
I'm not gonna lie.
the irony wasn't lost on me at
Right,
all.
Like, am I the only one that gets this?
And then
There's
his mom called him a Metch.
There's extremists in every religion.
Sure.
I mean, if you look at like the Hasidic community, and that's like a hardcore, like there's all these rules. We only follow the rules and stuff. And you can look at it and be like, they don't seem very open. They're not. They're not. They are extreme to their religion.
They have great hats.
Yeah, they have great hats though.
Great hats. And the curlies.
And I like the curlies, but I like the big fuzzy things.
Oh, the big fuzz hat thing. Yeah,
that is a great hat.
More so because
Well, they also have the flat billed hats that they wear, and there's
They look like the
big
old,
hat culture, man. I'm
the old preacher hats.
I'm pro hat culture.
But I'll go back to this though. Every person that not every person, but all the people we meet in real life, most people are fucking decent people.
We've said it before. It's
I don't-
90% of people
But like
are fucking great.
all of these, I don't know.
It's 5% all the way to one side and 5% all the way on the other side.
Like these fucking
You know when we talk about
college
the
kids.
10%?
Yeah.
That's the 10%.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know them. I guess I'm in a good place in life because I don't personally know.
But we've all met,
I know
we've
a
all
couple of
met
them.
them. It's just that
know.
it's when we meet them, we're just always like, yeah, okay. And then like, and then they get flushed. The problem is that this is where I absolutely love the internet and I absolutely despise the fucking internet because our boy Kevin Smith, one of the best lines that he's ever written was, Jay and Silent Bob don't know what the internet is. And they're like, what the fuck is the internet? And so they show him
The internet
They're like,
is
the
a
internet
communications tool
used the world over. And it's
for
like,
people to come together and bitch about pornography or bitch about
it's
movies,
a share
pornography.
Yeah, share pornography and bitch about movies. and it's
the internet I know.
essentially the internet has given everybody a voice.
That is a great fucking line.
And for the most part, people use the internet for information or for porn.
Yeah.
And
and
Ben Affleck says it.
And then
Which
you have
makes it even
the
better.
really loud percent on the really loud 5% on the extreme of any topic there is that go on there and just fucking run their mouth. And it's everything. It's political. You ever been on Sniper's Hideout?
Sniper's Hide.
sniper's hide.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God. You want to piss some motherfuckers off in there? That's a good time.
If you don't, yeah.
Just go in there and just say something. It doesn't really matter what it is.
I feel like I think a moist in the got's really accurate.
I that's the only place my joke fell short.
Which
of
one?
One shot, one whole group at any distance with an SKS and steel fucking ammo.
Yeah.
Right? Because they all got it.
They were like,
Then they all understood.
they're all like, no shit.
Yeah.
They were like, yeah.
But no, I've been a member of the Sniper's Hide since.
Probably since its inception.
No, I was about a year or two behind. But
You were-
yeah,
you-
I
For
was
the most part, the
I was a soda
information that's out there-
constructor and a member, and then I was a firearms manufacturer and a member.
The
And
the information on there is fantastic.
it is. It really
But
is.
you will see some conversations on there of people that just get fucking just
Well, you have
snotty on there. And it's like,
yeah, because you have people that have been on there forever and absolutely know what they're talking about. And then you get the new guy that asks the same question for the 1 millionth time.
sure, but
Yeah.
you're on a public
Yeah.
forum
No,
and
yeah, I
not
get
everybody's
it.
been there since the inception of it. And some of these guys that are getting in, then it's like, yeah, they're going to ask the question. They're those base level questions that entry level.
But if you look on there, there's a lot of good advice and a lot of people, like there's
But
always,
that's what I'm saying.
there's always
90% of that community is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And then you have the 5% on the extreme of one side or the other that just never shut the fuck up. Or you have some guy that maybe it's an intermediate question. And so he goes into a forum and he asks this intermediate question. And you'll get like 5 or 6 answers of dudes that are like, you might want to look at this. This is what's worked for me. Da, da, da. And then you have that one dude that's like, obviously you need to fucking da, da, da. And it's just
The
like, fuck
the
off.
problem with asking questions.
My favorite is the as a whatever.
Yeah.
As a veteran. Fuck, you lost me. You already fucking lost me, expert. All right. You were a PFC. I can tell by the way you're answering this.
So I used to own a gun shop, right?
You did?
I did. So, but the problem with the Sniper's Hide is when you ask a question, like if somebody came into my store and said, hey, this is what I'm looking for. My first question is, what is your budget? When somebody asks a question on the Sniper's Hide,
It's not that.
nobody knows what their budget is.
Yeah.
So you have people that have the $100 budget answering the question. You have the people that have the $1,000 budget answering the question. And you have the people with the $10,000 budget answering the question. And they are vastly different answers. And nobody says what price bracket they're answering the question in.
My favorite thing on any forum are the guys that will give you a $10,000 answer,
Yeah.
but live on a $100 budget.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Well, that's why we have credit cards.
no,
Those guys are living in dreams, though.
but
man.
they can't
know where their
afford,
dreams are.
they can't afford the answer they're about to give you. But hey, it's internet cred.
Yeah.
And they don't own anything that they're on there talking about.
Like if I got on there and I asked, what is the best thermo site available? Or if I asked, what's the best thermo site?
They'd be like, I like my ATN Thor 4.
Right?
I'm a poor, so I have one of those.
The most intelligent way to answer that question is, what are you trying to do with it? And what is your budget?
Yeah.
Without those two pieces of information,
And then
whatever you throw at that guy
I got this one off fucking.
is
off
just shit on a
Temu.
wall.
Off
Yeah.
Temu, and it's
Right.
great.
Yes. That's, yeah. Right.
But the thing is if that piece of gear works for them,
If
Fuck.
in a $10 budget, that is the best night vision I've ever looked through.
Fucking A. For a $10 budget.
and that's the thing.
Yeah.
We've talked about it, and it's everything. Get on a whiskey forum.
Oh, the experts. Oh, the experts.
Well, guy, I can't afford
like
a
Gentleman Jack.
$10,000 bottle of fucking wherever the fuck. Give me a goddamn break. I like this shit.
Or the problem is the answer with something they've read and they're regurgitating it.
Well,
And
you
they
can
have
tell
no
because
personal
it's basically
experience.
cut and paste.
Best answer I saw was somebody was on there and they're like, hey, what does everybody think of Eagle Rare 10 versus 17? And some guy was like, well, nothing compares to the double Eagle Very Rare. And it was like,
That's not what he asked.
Yeah.
it's a $7,000 bottle of bourbon that you can't get your hands on. Like it's
Yeah.
only sold on the secondary market.
Yeah.
They're never available.
I've actually
Like,
seen it for
thanks.
sale,
Yeah,
but I'm still not
thanks.
buying it.
Yeah, that must be wonderful. I'll never get that. But
I was unaware that Bill Gates was in this fucking forum. Okay. Take it easy, Elon.
yeah, because you paid $500 in some fucking bar in Louisville to get a half a fucking pour of that. Congratulations, now you're a fucking bourbon expert. Give me a fucking break, dude.
So it's like everybody who advocates for Pappy. I'm like, go fuck yourself.
I'm a Jameson fan, right?
Jesus Christ,
There's a Jameson Reserve. It's about $500 a bottle.
Yep.
On a New Year's one year, there was a bottle of Jameson Reserve at the bar I was in. And I'm like, hey, I would like a pour of that. It was $50.
Yeah.
Right?
Sold.
Oh, I would have did that.
Yeah.
Right. It was, yeah. Right. And I tried it. And I'm like, okay, now I know I'm never going to buy the bottle. It was good.
But
it was
it's not worth $500.
But it was just not to me.
Yeah.
Right.
I went out with a.
Guys, I want to read this text message I just got from our friend Gary. It says, what are you doing this weekend? Come away with me on a romantic endeavor.
Gary
Brugman.
Huh.
And he's, he went to prison for a while, so that scares
I wouldn't
me a
go
little
there.
bit.
I don't even know. I didn't even know Gary liked you. So that's really weird.
I like how all of you check your phones.
I don't like-
did he also invite
No.
me on this romantic rendezvous?
No. Like,
Just,
I'm going to text him right now.
Ask if you can start in the shower.
Can we start in the shower?
I went out last week with Oliver, friend, and my very good friend, Steve Dixon.
The
legendary
man,
Steve
the
Dixon.
fucking
Yeah.
legend. Yep.
And we went up to CI. And now, as we all know, Steve is a big fan of E.H. Taylor.
Yeah.
That's
Which
his whiskey of choice, right? If he can get it, that's what he's drinking. So when we go, we'll sit down, she'll come over, and he goes, do you have E.H. Taylor? And if the answer's no, he looks at me and goes, pick something else. Because he knows what he likes, and he has decided that he doesn't need to look elsewhere. So I looked over at the wall, and I was like, man. And then I went, holy shit, you have some. And she goes, oh, did you see the Pappy up there? And I was like, I don't give a fuck about the Pappy. But next to it was Eagle Rare 17.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's impressive. And I was like, what else? And he was like, wait a minute, what's Eagle Rare 17? And I was like, well, it's I was like, you've had Eagle Rare 10. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, it's the 17. And I was like, how hard is it? And I was like, it's a very allocated bourbon. It's very hard to find retail. Typically, you're only going to find it in bars and restaurants because they get first crack at it.
Yep.
And I was like, it's not impossible, but you don't see it a lot. Like it's just and so, and I'm only telling the story because he said one of the most gangster lines I've ever heard in my life at the end of this thing. And he's like, okay, we'll each have doubles of that. And she goes, are you sure it's $55 a pour?
Don't tell me what I'm about, son. Fucking pour it.
Close. Without missing a beat, Steve just looks at her and goes, bring it. And don't ever question my wallet again. And I was like, wow, that is a gangster ass line. And so he came by the store a couple days ago, and I had staff on. So we went out back and had a cigar, and I had some Eagle Rare. So we were drinking Eagle Rare and smoking cigars in the back. And he was like, what was that Eagle Rare we had? And I was like, 17. And he was like, is there anything harder to find than 17?
Oh, you told him about the.
And so I told him about double Eagle Very Rare. And he was like, how do we get it? And I was like, I'm not one to question your wallet.
But I want to inform you.
There's also the level of extreme where you just go, this isn't fucking worth it. But apparently now we have this quest to find somewhere that has it.
Oh,
Like,
I've
as
seen
a pour or
As a pour.
Oh, as a pour.
And the reason being,
It would be cheaper almost to buy the bottle.
but I think he wants to do it.
P-O-U-R, not P-O-O-R.
And I think he wants to find it because Eagle Rare is my favorite whiskey.
Yeah.
Like I keep like 3 bottles of it in my house just in case. Like that is my bourbon of choice.
I'm there with you, actually.
Eagle Rare is just fantastic.
Yeah,
very good.
It's wonderful.
Speaking of which, Bradley Freeman, you deserve a fucking shout out. He brought me 2 bottles of Eagle Rare 10-year barrel select to the store. So Bradley, fucking hats off to you, buddy. And then another guy brought me another bottle for the store's birthday. So I ended up with three bottles of Eagle
And Bradley,
Rare
if you
10
brought
barrel
one of those for the show and you brought it to Jazz Store, you fucked up, and I'm not holding it against him.
He didn't bring it to the
I'm
store.
holding it against
No.
Bring it for the show. He brought it to me.
He brought us.
He brought Devil's River and shit here. He
Yeah.
brought that specifically to me.
What else did he? He brought something.
He brought something else, too. We drank it.
Oh, what was it? It was good, but I don't remember.
It must have been.
Yeah.
Must have been great.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
But I
What the fuck was that?
think he wants to find it just because I said
Yeah.
it's the only Eagle Rare I've never had.
Right.
I've had all of the rest of the Eagle Rare.
It's
You
the
know, it's probably-
coolest bottle in the industry by far.
And you're supposed to keep it.
Yeah.
well,
like-
you have to. It's
Well, no, so
awesome.
it's a decanter.
It's a decanter.
So
Yeah.
when you're done, you're supposed to just refill it with
Yeah.
Eagle Rare
Yeah.
and drink it.
No, it's awesome.
You know who's probably got it? Place and Bernie.
Well, I've seen it in specs before, honestly.
How much was it? Like 15?
I don't even remember.
I bet you it was 15. I think MSRP on it's like 1,500
It was probably
Yeah,
around there, but
I've seen it up to like 5 on secondary.
for resale.
I was oogling over the bottle.
It's
'cause
amazing.
It's a fucking.
But
It's
no,
because it's got that eagle in the bottom,
yeah.
Yeah.
and then the stopper is also a crystal
Yeah.
eagle.
Yeah, it's
And
really cool.
And it's made by Swarovski Crystal. That's who makes
Yeah.
the
Oh,
cancer. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Oh,
So-
that's dope.
So honestly, you're spending about $1,000 on this Swarovski Crystal custom decanter, and then there's
They just happen to
there's a
have really
$500
awesome
bottle of whiskey in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'll find it at some point. There's that one out in Fredericksburg too. That there it is.
There it is.
Yeah.
Look at that resale 15, 13,
10
11,
Woo!
11 grand.
20 grand.
15.3. Jesus, not 20 grand over there. Fuck.
Yeah, there's the
What's the retail price? Can you find
double
Fucking
eagle variant.
5.
Look at that. Look at that bottle though.
Oh, that's not retail.
2,000.
20. No, that's not even it.
2,000. Suggested retail price of double giver beverage is 2,000.
Oh,
$2,000.
I don't know. We've got that bottle of fucking Boss Hog I got for my 50th birthday that Jazz missed that we're going to get into
Yeah.
as soon as we pop.
You know,
can.
I was going to be there until I had somebody quit and I got to work their fucking shift at my
wish we
store.
didn't know that.
So
But I got a bottle of Boss Hog that we
did
fucking
you?
crush.
Congrats, man. And I'm because when she sent the text,
Yeah.
I was the first one to text back that was like,
they're like,
well,
well, Jazz is coming. I'm like, oh, good. Yeah.
I was like, I'll absolutely be there. And then we literally had somebody fucking quit and I had to cover their shift at the store. So I apologize, buddy.
I never answered the text, but I went.
Hey, you were the first one there. So
Yeah. I was
also
literally
felt bad about fucking
his wife sent out the text message. that
I'm
like,
often like that. Though.
hey, it's the week after his birthday or whatever, but we're celebrating at this time. And
Yeah.
I was the first one to respond that was
know.
like, I'll be there. And yeah, so it wasn't that I don't love you, buddy, but unfortunately,
Speaking of people quitting, I want to address Warfighter Tobacco. Mr. Warfighter Eric, our Texas sales rep, found another job,
Yeah.
found another opportunity. So
Yeah.
he moved on. He's
Godspeed, my friend.
Yeah, man.
out of the cigar industry, getting into some oil tool stuff.
Which is just big money.
Yeah, big.
Yeah,
money.
dude. Yeah.
So I can't fault him. Eric did great for us, but if you're listening to this and you're one of our retailers who Eric visited, bear with us. You might be seeing me coming up here shortly, which I don't know if that'll be any better for you or not, but yeah, we'll figure it out.
I don't know, man. If I was a retailer and the owner
Well, you would
came, like,
you would think, but
kind of makes me feel like a big deal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, this is a sales guy.
Hey, man,
the owner's here.
yeah.
There's some owners that have absolutely built their brand off the backbone of the fact that it was them.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
Omar over at Fratello.
Yeah.
That's how he got
Oh,
where he's at.
Omar's
He was-
awesome. He's
Omar
just
is
a good
he's a
dude.
fucking.
Yeah. But
I have never ever had a bad time
no,
hanging out with Omar. Omar is
he's an awesome guy.
yeah.
But I wish Eric the best, and like I said, for all the retailers and people who knew Warfighter Eric, I wish him the best, and we'll figure out how to move on from this. And
And I think it's
Yeah.
important that it wasn't bad terms.
no,
Like,
not
No,
at
no,
all.
no.
he was
No.
doing a killer job.
He's
He was
also
doing a great
He's
Yeah.
also way too pretty for you to get mad at.
Yeah,
Like, because he is a pretty man.
but he's doing a killer. And I can honestly say, and I don't work here, but or work for Warfighter, but I can honestly say that man hustled. He loved the brand. Like he
Yeah.
represented the brand very well. Like
on
he,
the-
was,
No,
he was
the-
very, very good at
I
it.
said, well, I told him, I said, well, Eric, if I gave you anything, it's a lifelong hobby that's now going to get very expensive for you.
Yeah.
And then
That
it's,
may be why he needs a better job.
that is smoking cigars.
Um,
so.
Can we address something real quick?
Yeah.
Jazz and I do not work at Warfighter Tobacco.
No.
We
No.
don't work here.
I don't work here.
We don't work here. I'm going to say it one more time for those in the back. We don't fucking work here. All right?
Yeah, I am. We are in.
Stop asking me.
Yeah,
My employees consist of Dave,
Dave?
Justin,
Yep.
present.
my wife Michelle,
Yep.
and myself
Yep.
and John.
And that's the entire company.
That's it.
That's the entire company.
Yeah,
right now.
it is. Look, I happy to call you guys friends.
You're my best friends.
Yeah,
I fucking
like literally.
I will advocate and help however I can every time. Same with Jazz.
It is.
Yeah.
It is,
You know, like-
it is funny when
I've sent a lot of people here.
Yeah.
Like I've
Sure.
I feel like I operate as an unofficial ambassador for Warfighter, but
Yeah.
no, you're an
But-
official one.
oh,
Yeah.
I know, fucking
You're just not a paid one.
Yeah.
Cigar Industry doesn't pay ambassadors.
Exactly.
No, absolutely not. I mean, shit, my bar has a Warfighter tobacco sign hanging on the wall. Like it's a fucking.
I gotta swap that out for you. too.
Yeah, because people keep asking me
Yeah.
if I sell them. Like I need to. Yeah, we got to get the. We got to get the one that's just an ad and
It
not.
says
the-
Warfighter, probably the best cigars.
because right now it says authorized tobacconist, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah. I can see how some like when I go to Rustic or wherever,
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, we're fun. I'm like, no. I'm like, it's like a mafia family. We're associates.
yeah.
We're associates.
Right?
Now,
Like,
look,
yeah.
You
I
know,
don't work here.
I've gone to events.
He's
I've
like,
done
we're
all that
friends
kind
of
of
his.
stuff. But yeah, we do not work here. I've been friends with the brand quite literally since almost the day you came to San Antonio. Damn close.
I was within a week or two.
It was
Sure.
damn close.
Yeah.
And I'm very lucky to call the Warfighter boys my friends and very, very close friends. We've been at just about every major life event that's happened
Yeah.
in all of our lives in the last several years.
We've been through it together.
Yeah.
There's a lot of information that has been shared in this friend group that will never make this show. But
Never ever. But we do not work here.
yeah,
Like-
I do not work for Warfighter Tobacco.
The mafia family. It's like Omerta.
Now, if you mail something to Warfighter Tobacco for Jazz or Mikey, they will get it,
Yeah, which has happened.
which happens regularly. Like I sent you guys the post with our fire for
my
firefighter
immediate
friend.
response was, "What a fucking king!"
You're right.
Yeah. Even
Like-
though he gaslit me. Dude, I didn't get butthurt. I didn't feel left out. I know how important it is to Jazz. That's why I was like, oh, it's good. It's good. You fucking gaslighting fucker.
He's just hooking you up with a patch. It'll be good. But yeah, the
Jacob Sellers. By the
yeah,
way.
Yeah,
Jacob
Jacob.
Sellers. The piggyback. I was the first one to sit down to this podcast and pour myself a whiskey, and I finished the bottle today.
God, that shit was good.
It
Yeah,
is
phenomenal.
very good.
So good.
Yeah.
That's
So good.
We also had a comment asking if only certain people can send packages, and I replied, "No, anybody can send packages. They just have to be fucking awesome. It's the only requirement."
The packages or the people?
Yes.
Yes.
well, no, the package. Hey.
You don't have to have an awesome package to send a package, but the package you send has to be awesome.
Mikey has an awesome.
The package has to be
Thanks,
awesome.
Yeah.
The person. Hey, it's a mediocre show. And,
Yeah. Yeah. We all
we let Jim on the show.
we all
I-
know and love our shit, man.
I mean, Quinn has sent us stuff, so
And,
By the way,
and
I
truth be
haven't-
told,
I haven't said it yet, and I've been meaning to. The lower part of the sleeve, which I know is now old, but I knew you pre that.
Yeah.
It does look fucking awesome. It looks really good.
Shout out to Forsaken Ink.
Yeah, it's
Ruffles.
fucking. God, it healed so well too.
And so I go back under the knife end of May to finish the rest of it because John fucking both reminded me and shamed me into. He's like, "You're gonna get the fucking shit that's gonna suck." I'm like, "Well, it all."
oh, in the
sucked.
ditch.
Oh.
You get in the ditch. Yeah, the ditch is fun.
Yeah,
The ditch is
we're
fun.
gonna finish it out. But anyway, no, I think that every time I go someplace, they're like, "Well," I'm like, "No, I'm just here to help,"
Yeah.
and I smoke their cigars, and they just happen to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a huge advocate for it. I don't know how many I've given out.
Well, Jim, I literally the first day that I came to Texas met the first hour
Yes,
that I stopped anywhere in Texas. I met Jim, and we've been pretty much best friends.
now we're gonna be neighbors.
since and neighbors now, which is cool. So
That's
But I will say one thing about this will be the only
You guys
time I
are
give
easy
the
to
fucking
like,
kid
though.
credit. Quinn sent a package that one time.
yeah,
With the patches.
yeah.
You know, with the not just our EDC, like our
Right.
freaking call sign patches, but also the what the hell was it called?
Sentinel
The
pack.
Sentinel
Yeah.
patches, right? And I still that sits on my jump helmet every jump I do.
There
It's
you go.
on there, right? And
my
and so like, and I've always appreciated
my
that
call
patch,
sign
you know?
patch
So
is
Quinn-
stuck to my headliner.
Quinn.
So if you get in my car, it has my call
Yeah.
sign stuck to my headliner.
Mine was. I think I lost my EDC patch. I think it got fucking.
Your call sign patch.
Or yeah, it said EDC on it though.
Oh,
Yeah.
So Quinn, Mikey does not hate your patch, just you.
It's
Yeah.
just the fucking all the fucking lame jokes, dude. You're just not funny. fuck, you're not funny. You're not original. You're not funny. You're fucking creepy.
You're Canadian.
You're Canadian as fuck. Like,
You got this
goddamn,
fake
dude.
wife.
Yeah, like your mail order wife that you try to pass off as like your chick. Like, I don't know if that's true or not. But like, yeah, dude, like, fuck. Like, I know you want to see my butthole, but you're just like, I understand now
I've seen it.
what a
It's
woman
not that
feels
great.
like when she walks by a construction site. Because it's the same thing I feel from you. You're fucking creepy. All right.
I think it's Canadians in general, they're so nice, but they're on my fucking.
I've seen his butthole. It's a butthole.
Yeah, it's run of the mill.
I've never cornholed
even
a
bleached.
Canadian before, so
Yeah,
Well,
It's a maple hole.
that's a maple hole there.
Yeah. Just cornhole where you're from.
cornhole in Nebraska saying?
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh, shit. All right.
Makes sense if you think about it.
It really does.
Cornholes and drunks.
and this is where the podcast goes straight
When
downhill.
This has gone on on enough, anyways.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna raise my bottle here.
Your hoist.
My hoist.
You're gonna hoist your
I'm gonna
hoist?
my hoist.
Hey, still got a little bit.
Cheers, boys. Cheers. Thanks for being my freedom friend. Like, share, subscribe, smash those buttons, do all that stuff. Tell your mom.
Tell your fucking friends.
Mom.
And tell your fucking mom's friends. That's right.
I like it.
You had it. You were close.
You were
All right,
close.
whatever.
It's been a minute.
It's a mediocre show, and this is what we do. But we appreciate you listening all the same. 3 little things. They're not hard to do.
Fix it, Ford.
Well, 4 things this time. Yeah.
Or send me the keystroke to turn the shit off.
Fucking A. It's not hard though. Jim, why don't you hit them with the first one?
Smoke on.
Your favorite?
Ooh, drink on.
And God damn it, kids.
Freedom the
the
fuck
fuck
on.
on.
Later.